What's up everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today is a great day because we have the EJ25, the Type RA short block, back on the engine stand because all of our parts have come in and our heads back there behind me are back from the machine shop, freshly machined and ready to go back on. So we get to start rebuilding this engine today. So here's what we got over here. We have our OE head gaskets. We're sticking with the OE head gaskets because, to my knowledge, they work just fine. People use them for super high horsepower builds. Gaskets for the manifold and TGV. Throttle body gasket, cam seals, the AVCS and non-AVCS, our half moon seals, a new set of spark plugs, head bolts. We are sticking with OEM ones for that. I know everyone likes to use the ARP ones, but these were cheaper and I'm trying to save a few bucks here. Let me show you what we have here as well. Pretty stoked on this. So I got the phenolic spacers, the Grimspeed phenolic spacers. These are the taller ones. They sit underneath the TGVs and basically, yeah, so they sit underneath here. It raises it up. It allows you to have more space underneath that manifold for working on the engine. And they also serve the function of dissipating heat before it enters the engine. So that's pretty cool. All right, so we're gonna start by blowing air through all of the oil passages. Next step is we're gonna get the lifter buckets cleaned up and get those put back in place. And I have them labeled intake and exhaust, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can just put these back in the way they came out since we did not need to do a valve job. Alright guys, so I got these front cam caps cleaned up off of camera. So now we are going to get our head gaskets on this driver's side. Alright, so we are going to apply a little bit of engine oil to our head stud washers and threads. Alright guys, so there is a specific sequence to how you tighten these down, and it goes A, B, C, D, E, F. So we first start by tightening them to 22 foot-pounds. Then we go back through and we do 55 foot-pounds. Then we loosen them in the reverse order by 180 degrees. Then loosen another 180 degrees. Tighten by 36 foot-pounds in alphabetical order again, then tighten by another 80 to 90 degrees, and then tighten by another 40 to 45 degrees in alphabetical order. So next, we are gonna pull off these half moons, these things right here. assembly lube on top of the lifter buckets before we install the cams. All right guys, so now that I have these just fastened down on here, just lightly, I'm gonna go ahead and torque them to spec. There is a specific sequence that you do, and it is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. These four outside ones in the front, you torque down to 7.2 foot-pounds, and all the rest of these you do 14.8 foot-pounds. So I'm going to torque those down, and then we will check the valve clearance. Alright guys, so I just checked the factory service manual, and the spec for valve clearance on the intake side is 0.2 millimeters plus or minus 0.02, and the exhaust is 0.35 millimeters plus or minus 0.02. So I'm going to show you how we check those. I have a feeler gauge right here, and what we do with that. Alright, so you can see this gauge. I don't know if you can read it on there. It says 0.2 millimeters. So you want to stick these in as like straight as you possibly can. So like you can see the valve in there. You just want to stick it right underneath, or the valve bucket. Just stick it right between the cam lobe right here and the bucket, and it should slide in without really any resistance. Like a little bit is okay, but like see how easily I'm kind of like moving that back and forth. Show you on this one, it just slides right in. Same right here. Now that I'm comfortable with our valve clearances, we will go ahead and pull these caps back off, or at least the front ones. We're gonna loosen all the bolts. We're gonna pull the front cap off because I need to lay down a little bit of 3-bond underneath this thing before we tighten it back to spec. Alright, so next up are the cam seals. You just want to apply a little bit of oil to the outside here, and then we slide them on just like that. The ABCS one is for the top. It's a little bit, has a little bit bigger opening. Bottom one looks like that. It's much thicker, so go like that. This is not the proper tool. I don't have the proper tool. And I've done this before and it's worked fine, so. Good. We just need to put the rocker cover on it and tighten that down. But before we do, we need to put some more 3 bond, or in this case, actually went and got some Permatex Ultra Gray. I have read that this is a good substitute because we are all out of that stuff there. So before we attach the rocker cover, we need to put in the seals for the rocker cover, as well as the coil pack seals. So they just sit right in here in these grooves, and once you have those in place, then you can put the Permatex on the cylinder head and then mount the cover. All right, so our seals are in place. Got the coil pack seals in as well, and now we will just put some Permatex gasket maker on that bad boy. All right, so now we torque these down to 4.7 foot-pounds. They have a sequence for it in the service manual, and it's it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So we'll do that now and torque it down, and this cover will be installed. All right, so next up is this oil feed line. This is for the ABCS. I'm just gonna put new crush washers on the front and back of each of these before I install them. And I believe it's like 27 foot-pounds. I'll check the service manual before. Yeah, it just mounts right here. The banjo bolt goes through, and you put a copper or crush washer on each side of the feed line, and then it comes down, and then it bolts in right here on the head, and then same thing, just 2 new crush washers, and then we will fasten that in place. So that's a wrap on this EJ25 cylinder head install. Hope that you learned something. Obviously, we still have a lot more work to do to get this long block fully assembled. That's all I have time for today, unfortunately. We'll just keep working on it, and I'll keep posting my progress. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, peace out.